Feel the rhythm of the streets, neon lights and neon dreams. Bloody face, they feel no pain when there's so much more to gain. Hunting season, if you will, tell me where'd you rather be? I can hardly see the moon, hope we'll get there pretty soon. Trying so hard to release you out of the misery. Hold on to your wishes if you can't hold on to me. Forgive me for letting you down. Forgive me for letting you down again. I guess I'm not strong enough right now.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is your T-shirted historian coming at you live. And wow, we got a good panel today, and pretty excited about it. A lot of good stuff to talk about today. Not so much a lot of negativity, but you know, it's you know, like the garbage or like the garden hose. You know, you turn the garden hose on, and you know sometimes the muddy shit has to come out first, and then you get the nice clean water, and that's generally how the show goes. So you know, pardon us if we take a poop on some stuff to start with, but we'll try to be positive by the time it's over with. Try. We do have a lot of good stuff to talk about. It's not all bad. Here's our folks today. We got Dying Breed, we have Victor, we have Ryan David, Nerdcognito, we have Ironcaster, Mr. Grimm, who is Morose Piano today.
That's from the game.
Oh, okay. And we have Esh.
I just assumed that was the name of his penis.
Morose Piano. Yikes.
I usually follow up with something, but not on Grimm's penis. Sorry.
Sound like my wife.
Oh! Right.
And
Well,
then there was silence.
no.
That wasn't
typing-
awkward in the least.
I'm typing to chat. I'm sorry. I'm typing to chat. Did you guys expect me to push the show? That's what you're here for. No.
No, that's why you have us here to do
Yeah.
the funny.
Yeah,
No.
basically. Yeah. No, I mean, the real secret is why I have, I pay all the extra money so that we can have like 10 panelists is so that I can get you guys started on a
you guys are
topic
getting
and then.
paid?
No, I'm paying for the 10 panels because I have to pay for StreamYard and otherwise I give you 6, but you can get 10 spots. You pay for it, right? So anyway, yeah, I'm paying for 10 panelists to show up, and then while you guys are all talking, I can go, like mute myself and wander off and take a leak or go eat something or watch some TV or something, then come back and go and join in the conversation with the
The hell you say? Your
That's my
secret is
secret.
out.
my secret.
For shame.
Truth is it's Grimm Show. It's just
It's grim.
my channel.
As if.
The benefits of
But-
being a producer, huh?
Yes. Hey, Low Spec's good to see you, man. I love Low Spec, man. He's the coolest person. He really is. Vince, good to see you, bud. All right, so there was a bit of controversy. I got started watching The Last of Us on HBO because I still had my subscription going, and every time I keep thinking, I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel it because there's nothing on. Something pops up, and I'll be like, let's take a look and see how it is, and it's like, then I'm like, okay, now I have a reason to keep subscribing, and Last of Us right now is my reason to keep subscribing because I basically just binge watched the first 3 episodes, and I'm not gonna lie, man, I like it. Now, for context, I have not played the games, so I'm not able to comment on, I see all the beats from the games and it's just like this, or it's not just like that, because I'm not going to do that. I would like to have said I played the games because 1, they look like really good games, and
Not even the
2,
first one?
Huh?
Have you not even played the first one?
I've never played either of them, but I've seen all the reviews. I've watched lots of live plays on. I watched Mahler play live Last of Us Part 2.
So you get to see him do his golfing practice.
Oh yeah, yes, I have seen that. And believe me, every time I look at Pedro Pascal, I start thinking, it's a shame that at some point, somebody's going to take a golf club to your head before the series is over with.
Scott Steiner's going to show up.
Yeah, they're going to have to get Scott Steiner in a wig to do the trick, huh? Actually, I heard he's having a hard time walking around right now. So him and Hulk Hogan. Too many big leg drops have messed up his hips. So, but
People keep telling me that the show is good, but then there's also people that tell me that it misses a lot of the subtlety from like the games, or at least the first game, because the second one was as subtle as a brick to the face. But,
the second one was about as
as
subtle.
a golf club to the head.
Yeah, second was about as subtle as a chainsaw to the forehead. But
Yeah.
But okay, I mean, this is first off. I mean, the episodes are about an hour and a half long, at least from what I can tell. I mean, because every time I check the clock, it's,
They're each an hour and a half long.
Well, the thing on my things is an hour and 27 minutes.
Jeez.
So
All right.
Now,
It really follows the beats of the game, so all you see is Joel making bandages for about half the episode.
And that's what's prevented me. I'm like probably the only one here that hasn't dove into this yet. I keep looking at that and I'm seeing, man, I can't invest 90 minutes today. And then I want the wife to watch with me, and then we got to find the right timeline. So you guys are selling me today.
Okay, well, First off, it's an easy sell because they're only 3 episodes in right now, so it's quick to catch up on. Like I said, I literally binge watched all 3 of them today before the show because I wanted to get caught up on it. Because I'd started it and I'd never gotten to finish. So today I started hearing about all the controversy about episode 3, and so I said, okay, well, I definitely need to sit down and watch this so I can catch up on this and find out what the deal is. And I like the series. I like the way the cast kind of works together. It's got good beats. It's a good story so far. It's not your typical zombie apocalypse BS.
And it follows the games. I'm assuming reasonably well.
I'm guessing. I really don't know. Like I said, I haven't played the game, so I can't tell you that. You'd have to ask somebody who's
into my yang. I've played the games and not seen the show. So.
Yes,
I remember after the first episode dropped, some of the hardcore fans of the game were kind of complaining because they weren't wearing gas masks out in, when they're out in the world or whatever. And I think you have to look at that from, well, this is Hollywood. They're making a show, and you can't really. You can, but you shouldn't have your primary actors walking around with half their face or more covered up.
Judge Dredd.
Every MCU film.
Yeah.
But there's that, I guess, because they don't want to breathe in the spores.
Well, even in the game, they only did it in certain situations when they actually had to go into a building where the spores were active. Like if they were just wandering out in the open, nobody wore gas masks. So
okay, well then that makes sense because there is a point where they get out into the city, and before they walk into this place, they check the cordyceps fungus that's outside, and they say, okay, it's dry and dead. So I guess they figured they didn't need to wear their masks indoors in that place. So that made sense.
I just remember that being one of the big criticisms that I saw initially when it was released. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we know hardcore fans never have anything terrible to say about adaptations.
No.
So.
But I guess to get more to the point, that 3rd episode, the one that is so controversial, it does have a gay couple in it, and they're the main feature of the entire episode because it's telling you their entire backstory.
That is the main complaint I've actually heard, because that's that legal subtlety that people are complaining about. Because in the game, you meet that same character, and it's kind of implied that he's gay. At one point, I think you can find a stack of gay porn if you explore about this place, and that's pretty much it. He mentions a partner at one point, and then the show makes that a whole episode about him being gay. So it just goes a 180 and just by the way, he's gay, and this is a whole episode with him having sex with his boyfriend and stuff.
All right. That's okay. That's really short selling the episode. They're talking about the character Bill, who, from what I understand in the game, is already dead by the time you find him. But you do find his place, and the story picks up on that too. But the deal is they go into his backstory by starting you off with who Bill was on the day of, and what happened to him, what has been happening to him over all this time since the fall, and how he met his significant other, whatever you want to call him. And it's really sweet. I mean, I'm the B in the LGBTQ, and I have a type just like anybody else. These guys aren't my type, but but it's a sweet story, and I mean, it's if you had replaced one of the 2 guys with a girl, it would have been fine either way. But it didn't offend me. It didn't bother me. It was more or less. It didn't seem to be so agenda-driven as it was. It was just kind of it's just building up a love story in any natural way that it's gonna happen.
Until you hear what Druckmann had to say about it.
Who?
Neil Druckmann, the game director.
Oh, well,
he also had a hand in the show making.
Druckmann is so far up his own ass, he doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, he literally said, for this, he was okay, so what you got to do is you got to trick the viewers into watching a gay love story, or subvert expectations, some bullshit like that. And I'm just for fuck's sake. If he had just kept his mouth shut,
if he had kept his mouth shut,
okay. But the fact that he said you've got to trick the viewers into watching, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Also, that character is alive in the game. You meet him, you interact with him. Like I said, he kind of mentions at one point, like, yeah, my partner. And if you actually take the time to explore, you can find out that, you know, he has gay porn. And that's like literally the only thing in the game that like tells you he's gay. So people's complaint is that they took that like kind of like subtlety, like that interesting little bit of subtlety, and they made it into like a whole episode that's just about their love story and like his background and blah. And people are like, that's unnecessary. Like that just kind of like detracts from like the version of the game, but it was actually like kind of like cool.
Okay, well, all right. In that context, I can understand. When Joel comes across Bill, I mean, he's met him previously. So when he arrives at his place, you know, Bill and his lover are already dead. They've committed suicide.
Okay, that's even weird. That's also kind of weird, but yeah.
Well, when you see the episode, you understand the context, and you're kind of like, yeah, I can see why.
My understanding is that just kind of this winds up being a fairly enclosed story that really doesn't do anything to further the plot of the series. That this is just an episode to kind of do that and have this little gay love story, which that's fine, but we're in episode 3 of this series, and do you really have that much time to waste?
Yeah,
I guess so. And yeah, it is a big story arc that it didn't need to be in the show. But I mean, for what it is, I think it's handled well. So I'm not saying, yeah, I love it. I'm just saying it's handled well. Whether or not it needed to be in there is kind of like, yeah, it probably didn't need to if we're just cutting for time. But
like Ironcaster, I question the necessity and whether you've got time that early in the lifetime of a show to waste, not necessarily waste, but to use an entire episode on a largely irrelevant backstory when you've already done here's what happened when the world fell in your first episode for some of the characters, and you've already got Ellie, who is gay, as a main character. It just it feels a bit on the nose, especially in the context of Drutman's comments, right? Because it's like, look, they're gay. It looks like grinding it in your face, a bit like that Dragon Age character that was like, I'm trans every other sentence, you know. It's like, okay, yeah, and so you don't need to, you know, you're doing it for attention. The portrayals of gay relationships and bi relationships that I've seen in media lately that have been really good are where it's just there. It's just matter of fact, and no one necessarily comments on it. It's normal. Mostly in a lot of kids' shows, you know, one kid's got 2 mums, another kid's got 2 dads. Nobody gives a fuck in the show about it, and that to me is worth a lot more than these attempts to say, look at me, you know. Yeah,
I would agree with that. And I mean, you know, coming from being in a relationship with a trans person, it's like, you know, it's not like she ran around telling everybody, it's like, yeah, you know, I'm trans.
Yeah. I've got trans friends, and all they want to do is be treated as normal, not special exceptions or something to be admired or looked up to, just like everybody else. You know? Yeah,
exactly. And so I don't understand why the identity politics has to become forefront. But like I said, you know, whether it needed to be in the show or not, like I said, I thought it was handled pretty well overall. It did kind of move me. Because obviously I'm not familiar with the game itself to know that, you know, like, oh, okay, well, this is deviating pretty significantly from the...
Did they intercut it? I haven't watched it yet. I'm waiting for the missus to be able to watch it. Did they intercut it with, like, Joel and Ellie going through their abandoned house or something? Because I could see it working that way. If they come up on the ruined house and then you flash back and they find some supplies and you flash back to them.
No. You know, now, here's how they set it up. Joel and Ellie are, you know, heading down the road on their way to Bill's. He's got a whole town locked down. But along the way, you know, they find a mass burial site where they basically they took people from small towns and just executed them, because they didn't have room for them in the quarantine zones. And then it flashes back to the day of, and you see all the people from that town, being rounded up and taken away, and then it cuts back to Bill, who's kind of ensconced in his little bunker hidden underneath the town, under his house, and how he basically evades being captured by the Fedra, the rather fascist, communist, or government that exists in that time period. And then it goes through all of Bill's story, not year by year necessarily, but over a long span, including how he meets up with his significant other and what they mean to each other, how they meet up with Joel and Tess, and how the two of them eventually, commit suicide. And then it shows, after all that has transpired, Ellie and Joel showing up, like X years later and coming into the town and finding what's left, and then leaving with the supplies that are left behind by Bill.
Killing him off, which he's, like I said in the game, he's not dead. You meet him, he helps you out. You meet him and he's still, like you said, he's got the fortified town. You meet him because you need his help. He's angry at Joel for some reason. They never really explain fully like why, but there's implied there's like history there and all that stuff. So like the show making the choice to kill him off, but then still doing like a whole backstory like about his life. I don't know. That's kind of a weird decision. You could keep him alive and then show that he's gay and all that stuff, like in the game. But
yeah, Shanansky's right. Yeah, Joel had the huge challenge of entering a code and walking into a house. Yeah, because there's nothing inside the town, because Bill's got the whole place booby trapped and electric fence and everything to keep raiders and infected and everything else out. So yeah, Joel just had to enter the gate code and walk in. So it wasn't like a big deal. And Matt is right. Yeah, Bill is a total badass in the show because. He basically takes this town and he rebuilds everything to the point where he builds booby traps. He gets power restarted. He gets gas restarted. He's, got everything automated and everything to keep himself safe from, all the stuff coming from the outside, including raiders. There's a really good scene with raiders trying to attack the town, and you think he's going to die then, but he doesn't. But, like I said, I liked the episode for what it was. Do I agree it didn't need to be there? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, because it wasn't necessary to tell Bill's story. It would have been just the same as cutting all that out and just having Joel and Ellie, punch the gate code in and walk in, find the bodies and the note and everything.
Yeah.
And,
but that's my question. Why find bodies for a character that wasn't supposed to be dead? You could have done all that stuff with him being alive. That's my point, because that's the way it worked in the game. And then while you're actually in his town, the zombies actually manage to get in. You have to deal with like getting them out of the town, like all this stuff. Like there's like all these events like surrounding him actually being an actual alive character in the game. And then in the show, it's like, yeah, no, he's dead. But here's like a whole episode about his backstory anyway.
Yeah,
it
is
sounds
what
like
it is.
It's a gamble,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it top down, not watching the show yet, and man, as a producer, I wouldn't want to take that kind of gamble the way HBO's canceling shit left and right. So I can see just through the comments, there's folks that are on the fence with it from listening to you guys. Maybe there's going to be follow-up. Maybe it's going to be like a side parallel story where they could go back to Bill again. Who knows? Who knows? But it was a huge gamble from a production standpoint, especially if it has no value to the core story that they're trying to tell.
We'll see. In the game, there actually is a segment that would fit perfectly for what they were trying to do. That's the part where you get to the sewer and you read all these ladders, and it turns out there was like a whole community down there, and there was this guy, I can't remember what his name was. He had like some biblical name, I believe. And it's basically his ladders, and he like set up this community, and like, he took in all these refugees and survivors, and then they were thriving, and then somebody left the door open, and the cordyceps zombies got in, and everyone died, and he escapes, and blah, blah, blah. and you never know what happens to him. Like, did he die? Did he get out alive? Like, so they could have easily done an episode like a flashback to that guy. Actually, he's like really popular, like that character. Like, you never see him, you never see pictures of him. It's literally through letters. But like, I remember back in the day, like fans loved that shit from the game. So they could have like saved that whole like, oh, here's like a backstory on a character who's just dead or whatever. Like, they could have saved that for that instead of this random ass gay guy who actually is alive in the game.
Well, my understanding is this is like one of the most divisive episodes of the entire series. I was listening to D-Day Cobra talk about it on his channel, and he said, yeah, his channel, when he made a video about it, was almost ratioed because of how divided the audience on it is. And like I said, my take on it is I haven't played the game, so I can't comment on how close it is to the game. My only standpoint on it is as a viewer of the actual material.
I can see how some people would just be like, well, just because there's gay people in it, But to me, it just seems like a weird story beat in a show with limited episodes.
I do kind of think.
Choice.
Well, I understand kind of why they were doing it. Because the deal is just like, okay, according to, the guys who made the film or made the show, they said, with Bill and his lover, the whole thing was Bill kind of didn't have anybody to live for so much as this person. So he protected this person, took care of them and all this right up to the point where the two of them, committed suicide together because, Bill basically considered his job to be done when that person died. And at this point, in the story, Joel has just lost Tess, who is his lover and stuff. And then, and he's already lost his daughter. So it's kind of like supposed to be driving home this whole beat that, this is Joel's reason to protect Ellie, not just because that she's the girl with the cure for everything, but also because he's failed twice already, and here's another guy who basically didn't fail, and he's telling him from beyond the grave. It's like, hey, this make this your reason to live.
Okay, but he did fail because they're both dead. They committed suicide. The better way to do that would be to have him at his lowest ebb going into that story beat, and then have this example of people who survived the apocalypse, found each other, and built a life, to show him that maybe he can bond with Ellie and form some kind of new family. That's the way I do it. But
like
I'm not in charge.
Yeah.
Like Shinotsky in the chat, Shinotsky chat just mentioned, him being an isolationist and just like a grumpy asshole who just doesn't trust anyone. That's what actually drives Joel and Ellie like closer together. Because they like realize like, hey, we're actually probably better off actually trusting each other and like interacting rather than just being like this dude. So,
yeah, I don't know. Like I said, they just took it from their perspective and not from the game.
Well,
I don't know.
It's the Neil Druckmann perspective, and I don't think he had full control over the first game. I think that's what they still had other writers. Him being in full control is how we got The Last of Us 2. So, yeah.
Well, he's in full control of the show, too, because he's like the producer on it and the writer.
Nice.
How many episodes is the first season supposed to have?
9.
I think 9.
Oh, jeez. So we're already a third of the way in.
Right, so I guess Bill is more than 10% of the story, and it's not valid. So I can get the argument now, thinking that it's only 9 episodes. So that is a huge investment.
Yeah. It's been basically like just you're taking an entire episode of a series and you're just talking about characters who are more or less tangential to the plot and making an entire episode about them. In that sense of things, it's not good. Like I said, just as an episode by itself, it's good. It's a little self-contained story that you can enjoy, but as part of the larger narrative, probably doesn't belong. But it is what it is. I don't know if they're going to keep doing that.
Well, I guess you could consider it as like the sort of like side filler plot of a long show, because you said each episode is an hour and 20 minutes, right? So,
Hmm.
and let's say a standard TV show is like 40 to 50 minutes per episode,
Hmm.
and if you break that up, that's like what 12 episodes is for the first. So it's like almost like a 1 to 2 episode filler plot, a sidestep over the course of like a large, long story. So I guess if we can see it from that perspective, it's fine, but it's still a lot of time to spend on a side plot. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. But looking at some other episodes, I can definitely say that the show definitely has me hooked. The second episode, the way it starts off in Malaysia with the doctor of mycology, the professor of mycology, checking out the corpse and seeing the frickin' cordyceps fungi, actually still try to reach out and get her, even though it's in a corpse. That's pretty horrifying. And then, all the build up to her, basically saying, I've been studying these things my whole life, and there's only one thing you can do now if they've adapted to living inside of a living human. And that's just to bomb everything. Which obviously they tried. And I don't know how that beats with the game, but just as an individual little story beat from one of the episodes, it's I thought it was good. The whole thing with Tess going out was good. Meeting the clickers was suitably terrifying. I just I can't say enough good things about the show. Just but as somebody who hasn't played the games, I can't compare it. So would I have, if I had played the games first and then watched the show, would I be horribly disappointed and pissed off? Yeah, I probably would, because I am one of those fans who kind of insists on making things as close to the series as possible. Although I gave a pass to Resident Evil a long time ago because I gave up on it. I mean, it was eventually I just started watching the Milla Jovovich movies because they were just fun. I gave up on any pretense of them being anything about the video game plots. So I just went there to watch.
Transformers. You gotta kind of turn your brain off and just enjoy it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of entertainment for Hollywood kind of is. It's just just turn your brain off and try to forget that there's actually a franchise attached to it.
It's hard to do these days though, because everything's just crap. I was like talking with my friends recently. Like I used to have like 5 or 6 shows a week that I would watch. It's like, oh, today it's 24. Then it's like Supernatural. Then it's like Breaking Bad. All these shows. Like almost every day there would be something coming out that I would watch. Nowadays, I'm like lucky if I get something to watch like once in every 6 months. That isn't like complete dog shit. So
Part of that's a side effect of the streaming. I guess boom and culture. There is no more appointment TV. Nobody tunes in at a time to watch a show. And even as recent as 10 years ago, people would the next day be able to have the conversations about that. Now we're in a situation where you watched it this day and she watched it that day and he watched it this day, and there's just no continuity. So it's kind of not a good strategy, in my opinion, from Hollywood to do things that way. Everybody wants to binge, but let's binge it a year after it's had its airtime.
Yeah, some of my friends are very, very hardcore about not watching a series until it's completed its entire run so they can binge the entire thing.
Well, I also just think I also just think there's less quality shows coming out in general. Like I said, like that was kind of more my point. There was just way more good shows coming out back then than there are now. Nowadays, it's like, once a year you get something good to watch. Yeah,
it's kind of bifurcating, isn't it? You've got event TV on one hand, where you get a big title and you make a big fuss about it and you spend a lot of money, something like Game of Thrones, and then you've got content. They just kind of churn out any old crap so that they've got something on their streaming service. So to justify people's subscription fee, basically.
Well, let me finish my thought real quick. As I was saying, it's like, I've got friends who won't finish. They won't watch a show until it's completely done, which puts me in an awkward place because we all enjoyed Vox Machina the first season, but we binge watched it all the way through. Now that they're coming out in chunks, I'm catching up on it very quickly, but they refuse to watch it with me. So I'm just sitting here on my thumbs every week when I go over to their place going, I wish you'd seen this latest episode of Vox Machina because it was kind of cool. And they're like, well, we'll watch it when it's all done.
Iron Castle just made me laugh because you said that and he was like looking around like, wait, we do? We love Vox Machina? What?
Not you.
I was gonna go get a beer.
Yeah. I actually watched like a couple episodes of that and I was like, yeah, it's not for me.
So with this talk about all the streaming shows, there was a little news story that came out this week I thought I'd share with you guys real quick just to kind of cover real quick and bring up.
Oh, you had to.
Yes, I had to.
Damn it. You know how I feel about this show.
No. This is for something bigger. This isn't about just that. So, suffice to say, Roku and Tubi are getting some of the series that you were on HBO Max.
Oh,
Yes, it is Westworld, but there will be other things coming as well.
Yeah,
so,
Westworld was my great hope.
So quite a few of these shows that had been like in the Warner Brothers catalog were in the process of getting pulled over the last few months, so that way they could throw them onto a free ad-supported service such as Tubi and Roku. Ad-supported streaming services or the FAST channels. The deal comes after Warner Brothers Discovery in December announced that it was removing several shows from HBO Max, including Westworld, The Nevers, Raised by Wolves, F-Boy Island, Legendary, Finding Magic Mike, Head of Class, and The Time Traveler's Wife.
Oh, basically all the stuff that never finished. Westworld didn't finish. Raised by Wolves didn't finish. Pissed me off.
Did they cancel that already?
Raised by Wolves? Yeah, they canceled it after second season, which really pissed me off because I thought that series might have... It was weird, but it was kind of entertaining to watch. Whereas Westworld, I was pretty much desperation watching because the first season was so damn good, and the second season was still good, but not as good. And then from third season on, it just got worse and worse, and I kept waiting for it to make a 180 and go back to being great, and it never got beyond fourth season because it was that fifth season would have finished it off.
But this is ultimately like they have a big catalog of stuff they're doing this with, such as stuff from like the HD TV. I think some of their Food Network content, like the Cake Boss, Say Yes to the Dress, The Bachelor, are all getting pulled from HBO Max and going onto these services. Which, it's just kind of a little bit of news happening. I was doing recently. Yes, The Cake Boss.
Yes, I love that show.
What's it about, Ish?
Oh, it's literally just like an Italian family, and they in New York. I think is it New Jersey? I forget the exact place, but there's basically they just make extravagant cakes, and like absolutely ridiculous cakes. But they also add like the Italian family drama in the mix as well. It's so fun. So yeah,
Fair enough.
It's a Kringador.
Sup, Kringy? Sup, nerd?
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going.
Long time no see, man. You doing all right?
Yeah, I've just been really busy.
Oh, I imagine. Glad to have you back on, dude.
So, Amazon Prime did announce recently that they're going to do a season 2 of the Terminal List, and I actually loved the first season, even though it was a right-wing revenge fantasy, as some liberal magazines put it. Actually, I saw that and I was like, oh, that sounds awesome, let me watch it, and it was great. So,
come on, Dying Breed, jump in there. I know you want to talk about this one.
Oh, the Terminal List? Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, they're making season 2, so yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good show. Yeah. I never read the books. I know that it departed from the books pretty heavily, but I still thought it was a hell of a show. The way they ended it, my understanding is they're doing a prequel. Is that right? It's not actually going to be a sequel because I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but it's kind of difficult to do a sequel based on the conditions they set in the first season.
Well, in the books, they take care of that because I have read all the books. I actually just finished the latest one like last week. But no, it's gonna. I think it's gonna be a sequel because in the book he goes to South Africa and he visits like his ex Navy SEAL friend who lives there, and he kind of like becomes like a park ranger and like all this stuff. But no, there's like lots of stuff that still happens.
Okay, so does he train velociraptors while riding a motorcycle?
Yes.
Okay, then I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But right-wing revenge fantasy, though, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that, but I mean...
Yeah, that's how some reviewer put it. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty awesome.
They also said that about, like, the last Rambo movie?
Yeah. Which also did great, so yeah.
And the Death Wish remake, they said it about as well.
I mean, that's why they're mad. That's why they're desperately trying to change the Punisher in the comics, and they made him like, they gave him like the Oni skull and stuff instead of like the old school skull, because they're trying to take him away from the right wingers that love him. So yeah.
But think of the cost in merch.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
I guess I'm getting to be the grumpy old man. I wish people could just enjoy things for what they are.
Yeah, exactly.
And quit, not everything has to have a political agenda or have to be about social justice or I just get exasperated with it all. And I just kind of, I mean, I want to curse a lot and I want to, I want to be the angry right-wing guy and get up here to the camera and be like, you bastards, and
I mean, if wanting to take brutal revenge after your whole family is murdered is right-wing, then I guess I'm right-wing, because I would probably do the same if I had the capability. So, yeah.
But, that's how a lot of left-wing revolutions started.
Yeah,
yes,
so, yeah.
Yes, it is. It's also kind of funny because a lot of criminal institutions actually started out as a thing. I believe there was actually an arm of the Yakuza that was actually started out as a dock workers protection union.
That's a lot of street gang stuff too. It's just like literally trying to protect themselves in a neighborhood.
Yeah. And the various societies in China, the Tongs and so on, weren't always bad.
Yeah, they were like revolutionary groups, weren't they? Like back in the day.
Yeah, the triads.
And local protection groups. Sort of vigilantes, police force before they were police, really, in a lot of ways. Mutual aid societies, all that sort of thing.
It's just kind of funny how many steps removed, something that can be good can be turned to something bad. But isn't that what stories are all about? Yeah.
See, I found the genius is just to go watch some older stuff that I've never seen before, and I'm seeming to be a lot happier now.
Yep, Ironcast.
I do that.
I do. The only show that I watch religiously is Yellowstone.
I love that show.
That's out right now. I
1871 was awesome.
I haven't seen the prequels yet, either one.
Dude!
I know, I got to get on them, but I don't watch a lot of TV. My wife is usually watching Cake Boss or something like that. So.
Hey.
Sorry, Ash.
Cake Boss. I think I've been to that place. Like I used to work by there. If it's the one in Hoboken.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they're assholes.
Well, yeah.
Well, Hoboken. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Ace of Cakes is always better, anyway.
To be fair, what New Yorker isn't an asshole? Like that's
Hoboken
That's New Jersey.
Hoboken
okay.
is not Jersey. I will fucking kill
what's the
you.
difference?
New Jersey
calling
is
us New
just
York.
New Jersey is just the trash belt of New York. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's true, but
Come on, we're European. We're European.
Yeah.
America is New York, Hollywood, and meh.
And
They
Texas.
both go, hey, I'm walking over here. So,
what if I confuse the Highlands and the Midlands to you Brits? I'm suddenly a fucking Nazi.
Yeah. How come you guys don't all sound like William Wallace?
Because we're not Australian.
Oh,
The difference
okay.
is we actually have culture that you're supposed to know.
Speaking of old stuff, I got some old stuff here. Here's some oldies for you. I just got these.
Texas. Is that in Mexico?
Yes. Well, it used to be. A long time ago.
And it's going to be soon.
Oh God. Yeah.
Oh, you
What
got
have you
the
got
double
there?
feature.
Yep. Found that one, but I got this other one. This one is supreme right here. The Dungeon Master
Yes.
Nice.
and Eliminators. I saw both of these in the theater when I was a kid.
I think I have that.
Is Eliminators the one with the cyborg half track?
Yes.
Ah,
And the ninja and what's her name from Star Trek? Denise Crosby, back when she was really young and hot.
someone's
'Cause she was.
cyberpunk tabletop game that got out of hand as a film.
Yes. Yeah, because I mean, you basically...
Yeah. Now I remember because Dungeon Master had Wasp doing the.
Yes, that was the best part of the whole movie. Was the Wasp scene. Got these, some oldies here.
I don't know how I
Clint
feel
Eastwood.
about this because it's like only 2 of them are Dirty Harry.
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't get a collection of them, but I did see this one in the theater way back when I was a kid.
I think
I
I
just remember
have
being-
one for that collection though.
I remember being bored through most of this until they actually got into the plane. So
You got 4 right-wing revenge fantasies there. Okay.
pretty much, yeah, pretty much. And then I got this one, which is not my absolute favorite Western, because my absolute favorite Western is probably still Tombstone. But this was damn good.
Yeah, that's a
Quick,
good one, yeah.
Quick and the Dead, it's a good movie. My favorite
Yes.
Western has got to be Silverado.
Really?
Good one also.
Oh,
A lot of people love that one.
that is a great film. Lawrence Kasdan, who also did Empire Strikes Back, so the guy knows how to tell a story.
I rewatched Maverick recently. That one's fun. That
Yeah,
one's
if you
just
can't
good
see
old
the
fun.
covers, sorry. Yeah, as far as Westerns go, it's like, man, it's hard to say which ones are my top favorites because I have so many Westerns that I really love, but Tombstone is definitely in the tops. Once Upon a Time in the West. Man, I almost have to say that one is my favorite because I love Charles Bronson. And that was like one of the best films ever.
Original Django or The Wild Bunch?
I have the
Also
original
good ones.
Django.
Wild Bunch is very good.
Wild Bunch is good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tombstone's very good. All of these are good movies.
Yeah.
I like the Wild. I like the Wild Bunch because it's kind of like that era. It's like 1910, actually 1911 probably because they're literally carrying 1911s in the beginning of the movie. But I kind of like that era, kind of like towards the end of the Old West. Like these old outlaws are looking at the car and they're kind of just like, what the fuck is this shit? That's why I like the first Red Dead Redemption too, because I was set during that similar period.
Yeah.
One of the things that I like the most about old westerns is how easily adaptable they are. You can take the plot and you can put it into like a fantasy RPG
Easily.
and it works very, very well most
Not
of
to
the
mention-
time.
Not to mention, most of those Westerns were stolen from old samurai films.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
Well, it's
And I-
generations of being able to tell a good story.
Yes.
And it's some of the things that we like. It's got very clear definitions of good versus evil.
Yes.
And there's going to be characters that ride the gray and do it very well, but that's why those translate so well to just about anything. Hose it down in whatever juice you want. It's still, at its core, a great story.
Yeah.
Well,
I liked Last Man Standing. The
Yes!
Bruce Willis. It's
I've got
like
that.
a Western based off Yojimbo, but set in the 1920s. So it's a weird mix, but it worked well.
It
That was a
was based
wonderful
on
movie.
it was based on A Fistful of Dollars, which was based on Yojimbo. So
Yojimbo,
yeah,
yeah.
It was like movieception.
And then you probably don't remember Omega Doom with Rutger Hauer, which is also Yojimbo, but it's with cyborgs.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I should remember that, but I don't.
You got to get that one.
Yeah,
Th-
it's
those
worth
old-
a watch.
Those old samurai movies and those old westerns, they work well together because they have a lot of the same story beats. Like stranger rolls into town, fights the powers that be that control the town, helps the townspeople, and then just drifts on. So
And-
yeah,
Let me mention another classic you guys some of y'all have probably heard of this one. Red Sun, starring Charles Bronson and Toshiro Mifune.
yep, and Alain Delon.
I
was the
haven't heard of
villain.
that one.
He was the
Oh,
he
yeah.
was the villain. He was-
Alan Delon, yeah.
Yeah, he's a Frenchman. He's also in a great movie from the 60s called Le Samurai, where he's like a French hitman.
Mm-hmm.
Which was actually kind of the inspiration for The Killer with Chow Yun-fat and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all the stories are derivative or they're taken from something else, but they're still good because they're good stories. And
that sounds great.
I don't know, man. It's like I almost think I could. I hate to say it, but if you're gonna remake something, why don't you try to remake one of those?
I don't want Hollywood to remake stuff anymore. Because they have to apply this lens upon it. You know, we have to have this message. We have to drive our agenda, and so we're going to take something, and now we're going to subvert expectations, which is the phrase they always use. Dude, I'm watching it because I don't want my expectations subverted. I'm not watching
Dragon's right.
I'm not watching it to open my mind. It's a fucking TV show.
Or
if I want to expand my consciousness, I'll take LSD.
Shrooms.
Updated for modern audiences.
Yeah, I was literally about to say that. It's like one of the worst terms in modern media or culture or whatever. That completely immediately makes me tap out when I hear that or see that.
It's like I'm not a fan of the hero's journey as a model for stories and things, but I think the kind of Jungian archetype approach to fiction bears some fruit, right? And stories, the same story themes appear as far back in time as you want to go, right? And stories work and they resonate with human psychology because we haven't changed that much since the dawn of storytelling. And so you fuck with that at your peril if you want to tell a good story. And yet they seem intent upon reinventing the wheel.
There is a movie that I need to get added to my collection because I saw it many times as a youngster because we had cable TV back then, and cable TV was my babysitter for many years. But it's called Avenging Force with Michael Dudikoff and Steve James and all these other characters. It was like an over-the-top action film. It was actually supposed to be like a sequel to the old Chuck Norris Invasion USA, except Chuck Norris didn't want to be in it.
Is that the one with the black kid falling from the roof and it's like a puppet that falls horribly? I see that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That film is so bonkers, over the top, crazy fun. But that's exactly the kind of movies I want to see brought back to the home screens of the cinemas because I want Hollywood to get back on cocaine.
Yes. Yeah.
Almost everything in my collection over here is Hollywood back when it was on cocaine and it was still good. So,
you're joking, but in a way, you're right. It's back when, we're not going to worry about agenda. Let's make $100 million or whatever.
You could just see some
days.
You could just see some cokehead studio execs. They're going, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you $15 million, and you're gonna go make a movie, and I don't give a shit who's in it or anything. Just give me an hour and a half worth of film so I can sell it to the distributor and put enough cinema and fuck it. We'll make at least $4 million back or 60 million back on the residuals, and then another 25 million back on home rentals. Just do it.
So what you're saying is that Canon Studios or movies, whatever it's called, should have been called cocaine movies?
Canon films were the best films.
Yeah.
Most of my library is Canon films. I'm not going to lie.
Here's $15 million. Fuck off to the Philippines and come back with some explosions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it worked out great.
And I love the golden age of Filipino cinema because it's like those magical cardboard boxes that everybody fell into and people. You know what? I coined a term back when I was young, and I told it to my friends, and it has now come into our regular parlance that we see it. We say this every single time we see a movie, and I call it the obligatory flaming man scene, and that is. It is not a good film until you see somebody get set on fire.
Yeah, and they start running.
Yes. Yes.
And it's always the same stuntman run, right?
Yes.
It's the same pattern,
Yeah.
same cadence, same
Yes.
body structure.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if it's a 110-pound big-titted girl.
Yes.
It's the stuntman on fire running down the
Yes.
street.
Yes.
And you always know which car's going to explode because it's the beta.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. It's
They'll always
it's
find a
not
window to jump out of while they're on fire.
I guarantee you, if you watch old 80s movies, if you see a guy get set on fire at any point in that movie, you know it's a good movie.
See, I kind of thought streaming might bring that kind of culture back. Cheap, fun movies, right? And
It
I
did for a
thought
little bit.
ebooks might bring back the pulps, but instead it's just endless My Affair with the Yeti stories and shit like that, you know?
Chuck Tingle.
The problem with ebooks not bringing back the pulps is they're charging the same for an ebook as a hardcover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because when
That-
ebooks first started, they were like $4 or $5, and there were some good, novels that weren't good enough for, say, hardback publication, but they were fun reads. And then they realized we can make money off this. Everything's getting charged $30.
There is a little subculture of like indie writers, and for the most part, they're like right wingers and libertarians. So I'm sure a lot of people hate them. But there's like a little subculture that write very like pulpy sci-fi. It's all about like space legionnaires and like stuff like that. So
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually just earlier this week, and it crossed my mind is like, wouldn't it be great to have the old pulp fantasy and weird sci-fi magazines or the modern day equivalent, like a digital sort of, online sort of thing. That would be
Sova
niche,
does
but
that.
they are.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I mean, for example, BattleTech has Shrapnel magazine that does that for like in universe.
Yeah, but but it's like how
games.
many Robert E. Howards are we missing out on in this world? You know what I mean?
They're busy writing Yeti porn.
yep.
That's what.
His hair was coarse, but I couldn't resist. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if it makes you money, I mean,
But does it though? I can
don't
see
know.
people buying these for a laugh, but at 99 cents a time, with Amazon taking however much and not promoting anything, can't be making that much money. They just do it for the love.
Then again, like I just came across one like literally while we were streaming here called Were Cage, about getting bitten by Nicolas Cage.
You've got to read us the back cover.
That's gotta be crazy.
I found an excerpt. He turned away from the window and took a shuddering breath. How could something not make any sense yet seem so obvious at the same time? He was bitten by Nick Cage, and that bite turned him into Nick Cage. That was what happened. That was a thing. He was a lie cage thrope.
No. Who writes like that? Okay. I'm gonna show you some cool movies, okay? And this is not even everything out of my collection, but this is stuff that I really enjoyed back in the day, and I still like it now. Let me blow it up real quick so you guys can see, because couldn't see it before. Y'all tell me if you haven't seen some of these. And I got the first one around here somewhere.
Have not seen this.
You never seen Exterminator 1 or 2?
No, I
I
haven't.
have.
But I've heard of them.
You do. It's the Punisher before the Punisher.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, great movies.
Great movies. Who remembers this one?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Also called The Blood of Heroes.
The Blood of Heroes. Yes, this is the Japanese version. It has both cuts.
Jugger actually became a sport for a while. I think it actually might still be in like Australia and Germany.
Yep.
I remember Cobra.
Everybody remembers Cobra. You got it.
Fantastic.
Cobra time.
Cobra.
It's in my collection.
Knocked a whole bunch of them off.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, classic.
Yep. And it's the follow-up to Class of 1984, which I have over here somewhere.
Nice.
Very good movie. That's a really
Excellent.
good movie.
This
Excellent.
is what we call a death hunt.
Yes. Yes. Excellent film.
Different.
And I know. This is going to give. It's going to give a lot of you a big chubby, probably even grim.
Nice.
Yep.
One of my favorites. One of my favorites. I don't know how many times I've seen that film. And the cast in that is just amazing too. It's a very underrated cast. I mean, people look at it, and, 80s fantasy film, but the cast in this is amazing.
Yeah, it's like a who's who of who was going to become an awesome star.
Right? Yeah. Helen Mirren. For God's sake.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson's in it, and Patrick Stewart's in it, and
Patrick Bergen.
yeah.
No.
Right.
No, it's that other guy. Yeah. There's a lot of folks in it.
Anyway, great film.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
I've seen half of one of those movies.
Well, apparently you're lacking in education. We might have to fix that.
I don't watch movies or anything anymore. I just don't care.
2 a.m.
Well, it's not like these are new movies that you just missed in the last couple of years, dude. These are
but I'm not
most of these are from the
going to
80s
watch
and
them
the
now.
70s.
Yeah. In the 80s, I was busy running around being a kid.
Okay, well,
busy
now catch
running
up.
around being a ninja. Man, Shokasugi movies. You know how many of those I've seen? Oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, I got them all. This is what happens when you have cocaine money and you go to the Philippines to shoot a ninja film.
Yeah. And it has Django in it, aka Franco Nero.
Yep. This is my favorite ninja movie by far, ever.
Really? Okay.
Not Three Ninjas.
It's got a white guy on the cover, but it's Shokusugi all the way, baby.
3 ninjas strike back.
3 ninjas and a baby.
Okay. No reaction to that one. Okay, let's hit you with this one then.
Nice. I want to be dominated by a female ninja.
Yeah,
Everyone wants to be dominated by her.
I love the taglines on a lot of the old covers.
Yes.
He's the ultimate killer. She's the perfect weapon.
Yep.
It's no fun dominating a ninja. They don't make any noise.
Shokusugi and Pray for Death, which was probably the last really good ninja movie that he did. And then he did this one, which he was like trying to not do the ninja thing and just go around with the gun. And I'm just kind of like, no, show, that doesn't work.
Was that the
So
birth
you
of,
were a no-show.
Yep.
Was that the birth of Gun Fu kind of stuff?
No, I wish, but this was an insanely good film. And I will put this on anybody, how good this film actually was.
I've never seen that.
Oh, Buffalo. Yeah, this is with the late Will Sampson. This is awesome.
Did he die because somebody cut his hair?
No, he. I don't remember what he died from, but I get it. Here's one that's unseen by a lot.
Yes,
Glenn.
I have seen that one pretty recently. It was pretty dog shit, but I like it still.
It's fun dog shit though. It's John Frankenheimer, man.
Yeah.
Back when John Frankenheimer.
No Jim
was
Carter
good.
in there.
No, it was actually a pretty solid film.
Steel Dawn, yes.
Patrick Swayze.
Yes.
And some British guy who really ate up the scenery.
Yeah. And nobody puts baby in a corner.
You know what's actually a good ninja movie? And it's from the 90s with Christopher Lambert, The Hunted.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That movie rules.
Yeah.
That is a terrible cover.
It is a terrible cover, but that's Wings Hauser. Anytime you have Wings Hauser in a film, you have to watch it because he's just that good.
Like Lance Henriksen.
Kinda, yeah.
If he's in a movie, it's okay.
All right, and now I'm going to show you a Wings Hauser film that a lot of you guys probably have never heard of, but you absolutely should see. It's probably the best Vietnam movie ever made.
Ollie Ermy, nice.
Yeah, The Siege of Firebase. Nobody's ever seen this movie?
Never heard of it.
I might have. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Is
okay.
it really surprising to you that I haven't seen it either?
No. Ash
So
told me
it's a
he hadn't seen it. I wouldn't be
comedy?
surprised.
Well, I haven't seen or heard of anything you've shown thus far.
Well, yeah,
Okay,
but
well-
you're like 14, so. That's
Yeah.
right.
So this would have
British,
been
you haven't even seen
14.
Excalibur?
He's 12. Get it right.
Yeah.
that would have been made after Full Metal Jacket, I assume.
Yeah, it was 89.
Yeah.
So, but
well,
Full-
Arlie Ermey's in the credits, and he was nobody until Full Metal Jacket. So
yeah, and this film was insane. It was kind of like, okay, let's make a Vietnam movie and just go in and let Arlie Ermey just absolutely be Arlie Ermey on the entire film.
yeah, he wasn't even an actor; he was a consultant for. Yeah.
Also, Ash. Oh, sorry.
So that's just a tiny little tiny little cross section of my '80s catalog, as I have so many '80s movies, and
God,
they're still good.
I was so hoping you were going to bust out Remo Williams.
I have Remo Williams.
Oh,
I busted it out when I first got it.
What about the porn parody, Rimming Williams?
No, I don't.
I've moved all my
3
stuff.
DVDs.
Yeah, I've moved all my stuff to digital. I mean, I've got some DVDs, but I got rid of a lot of them. I've got everything on a hard drive, and I run a Plex server for my house. So it's,
Hey, I've got to bounce, guys.
Ladies,
All right.
Everything okay, man?
Apparently, it's my,
Boing.
yeah, apparently it's just my turn to do dinner. So,
Oh, good for them to tell you now, huh? Sorry.
Take care.
oh well, that's how it goes.
see you, man.
Later,
All
guys.
right, you'll be missed.
also, I was gonna joke about Ash's age, and I was gonna say like he probably thinks that the first Iron Man is a classic movie. So yeah.
Well,
It is. No, I'm just kidding. But I was young when I first saw that.
Yeah.
So.
I was going to make a joke that Ali Ermey wasn't in the Ermey, he was a Marine.
yeah, that's true. He was a Marine.
Ermagerd. Marinker.
Herbigerd. Scoot some folks around here a little bit there. There we go.
Ah, and I'm dizzy.
But yeah, man, I miss those kind of films. I miss that kind of shows. I just we don't have that anymore, and we may never get it back. I don't know.
I think we will. I mean, pop culture always kind of follows a pendulum, and things swing. And I think we're actually kind of starting coming back to it now, but I think we're at the very first stages of it. I think the Top Gun sequel,
Yeah.
with the money that they made and the reception that it got from the public, I think it's just a matter of time before people kind of wake up. These companies can only keep losing money on these projects for so long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think the closest we have to canon movies these days is that guy, I can't remember his name, but he did like Brawl in Cell Block 99, Dragon
That was a good
Concrete,
movie.
like those movies, A Bone Tomahawk. He did like all those
Yes.
movies. Like they're kind of like indie, but they're very violent and yeah.
This generation needs a new John Carpenter.
Yeah.
It does. I think the last good, really gory movie I picked up was VFW, which if you haven't seen that, that's insane bonkers. Because it's like it takes all the old actors from a lot of old previous films, and it just kind of jams them all together as Vietnam veterans in a VFW bar that gets attacked by a bunch of drug crazed hoodlums, and it's the most over the top gory shit I've ever seen. But it's so much fun.
It's not like there's no good stuff at all out there, though. And YouTube has sort of become a pipeline for young indie filmmakers. Look like Adi Shankar and his bootleg universe, or Neil Blomkamp started on YouTube doing effects reels and things, and his films aren't awful. What's the guy who directed Mandy? Cosmatos? Panos Cosmatos, I think. And he did one of the Cabinet of Curiosities things. Yeah, so there are people doing good stuff. Maybe not the cheap zip pow action movies, but there are people doing good stuff, and there's bound to be people coming through. Like the crowdfunding opened it up a bit for a while. Like you had Iron Sky, Psycho Ghoulman, and the stuff that they put out. That was fun. There are people there.
Panos Cosmatos. I gotta say, man, Nick Cage has actually been hitting it out of the park here for me recently.
Willy's Wonderland was surprisingly entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
It was good, and Color Out of Space was good too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I want to see Benfield.
I'm a Lovecraft fan, and I actually like a lot of Nick Cage. I got probably halfway through Color Out of Space, and I stopped watching. I need to go back and finish it, but I'm just like that. I won't even give it away, but there was a scene and it was like, okay, I'm going to stop for now, and then I just never picked it back up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is VFW, and you can see he's got Stephen Lang, William Sadler, Martin Cove, and Fred Williamson, and yeah, it's just over the top, gory,
I always
brutal
love
fun.
Stephen Lang.
Is that
Yeah.
the one with the veterans in the bar?
Yeah, that's the one.
Ah, yeah, I have seen that one. Yeah.
I rewatched that movie. Stephen Lang is the villain in it, and it has Michael J. Fox and what's the actor? He's like very right wing on Twitter these days.
Oh, Sean Penn.
No, Sean Penn is like opposite of
Oh,
right wing.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorbo?
Oh, sorry?
Kevin
Sorbo?
Sorbo?
No. An actual good actor.
Rob Schneider?
No, an actual
No.
good actor. I said. He's from. He's like an older dude, but basically he's like a
Oh, that
cop.
narrows it down, Vic. Thanks.
He's
James
like.
Woods?
Yeah, James Woods. There we go. Thanks. He's like a cop, and Michael J. Fox is like an action star, like a Hollywood actor, and he like.
Oh, I remember that.
He has to do a cop role, so he gets like attached to him to like basically follow him around and like
Right.
see how a
What's the
cop
name of
acts.
that movie? What's the name of that movie?
I want to say
I
it's
can't
the
remember,
rookie,
but
but
Stephen Lang's like the villain in it. He's like this crazy serial killer with like who just like shoots people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that movie. I can't remember the title of it.
yeah, I
what's the
remember that movie.
I'm
I
looking it
can't.
up right
That was one they did a long time ago.
The
too. I
Hard
can't-
Way?
The Hard
now. Hard
Way.
Way,
Yes.
yeah, that movie's fun.
Yeah.
If you haven't
Yeah.
seen that, it's a fun movie.
There was another one they did that was pretty good like that too. I don't remember what the title was, but the bad guys all had these big guns that were shooting ammunition that was so powerful could literally like go through houses and stuff. And I mean, it's like literally that's what they would do is they'd show up to guys' houses and like just shoot through their houses and kill everybody inside of them. I know it's not very much for context, but
Eraser? I don't know.
no, it wasn't Eraser. It was all I remember is I want to say the lead star was like if he wasn't Eddie Murphy, it was
Was it De Niro and like a black guy? I think.
yeah. I'm thinking
what you
so.
mean.
Yeah, where De Niro is like the old cop and
Yeah.
the other guy is like basically like yeah. When the Wayans brothers, I think. Damn. Yeah, I'm getting
Showtime.
old
Was
sucks.
it Showtime?
Showtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Murphy.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun movie.
Welcome to Old Guys Try to Remember Movie Titles.
Old guy, yeah. You remember that film back in 1973?
I do miss the buddy movie era. Like I watched, I think it's called Bulletproof, and you mentioned the Wayans. It's like him and that one shitty comedian from Enter the Zohan and stuff.
Sandler.
Sandler, yeah, it's him and Sandler, and like, and the Wayans is like undercover, and Sandler's kind of like a low-level criminal, but they're like best friends. And then Sandler discovers that his friend's a cop, and then something happens, and he accidentally shoots him in the head. But yeah, basically, it's a fun movie. It's a fun, silly buddy cop movie.
You know, the
Anytime you
Wayans
can
show
shoot
up-
Sandler in the head.
The Wayans show up in all sorts of buddy cop movies, sort of.
They-
I mean, I
White
think
chicks.
White
Last
Chicks-
Boy Scout was good.
Last
There's
Boy
like
Scout
90
is
Wayans.
horribly underappreciated.
I love
Yes,
the
it
Last
is.
Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout, and that's Damon Wayans. So
Last Boy Scout is like the quintessential Bruce Willis role, where he's just like a hungover cop or
Yes.
hungover ex-cop.
It's really good though.
Yeah,
Just once, I want to hear you scream. Play some rap music.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do have something kind of special for the audience out there. We do need to. I guess we need to get onto some of the other stuff that we need to talk about today. And
Is
if
it
you
about
haven't
the
already
classic
heard of
film called Iron Man 1?
no, no, it's about the brand new game called Cities Without Number on
Oh,
Kickstarter.
Yeah, Jesus, 250. Goddamn.
already, yep.
I don't
Yeah.
want to look at that stuff because it just makes me depressed and jealous.
It blew the hell up. And yeah, I'm already backing it. Yeah, if you haven't jumped on this, you need to, because this is another Kevin Crawford original, and honestly, it's worth it. If you can't afford the nice $80 offset print book. You can always get the at cost POD version for $40, and it's still going to be worth it.
So what's the international operator one? I was trying to read it, the new one.
Oh, international operator, yeah, that's the offset print and the PDF book backer credit.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to do a whole bunch of goals and stretch goals and stuff like that necessarily. He's already got a few where he's already hit them. He's going to write an 8 to 9 page guide describing his favorite techniques for managing tabletop RPG Kickstarter campaigns, which might be useful to you, Victor, and some others.
Yes. Here's my big tip. Don't nearly die and spend half a year in bed. That's really hard.
Yeah. And then he's already hit the 200,000 mark where he's putting the mechanics for Cities Without Number under an open license.
Yeah.
So he's already hit it. So this is in the can.
What was that about art?
Oh, yeah. He's talking about art. Since he licenses his stock art for everything, and human artists are doing it, he's not necessarily going to be doing AI art.
But some of them use it. Yeah. That's what caught my eye, because a lot of artists that I know, like formerly big names, like Jim Burns is doing this as well. He's feeding the AI his own pieces and then using it to lay down backgrounds and poses and stuff, and then working on top of that. So it really speeds up his process. But so he's found a way to integrate AI into his work process in a way that's, a human still gets paid. Yeah.
And this actual model right here, I own this. I've seen this. I can use this. I know where he got this from. It's like, Kevin, if you need me to, do some art for you, I can do it. But of course, he's not on social media, so me telling you here he's not going to hear it.
So he's writing a cyberpunk setting, but he doesn't use social media.
Yeah, isn't it funny? But here is something I can share with you guys, since you guys are watching the show. It's part of his updates, just so covering my butt. You guys can see this. It says, as promised, the Google Docs link will take you to the folder where the CWN betas are being kept. You are welcome to share these betas with other people who are interested in them, whether potential players or interested forums. I'm counting you guys on the Week in Geek as interested forums. Therefore, there you go. There's your link to the Google Drive.
Look at that.
Yes, we are. But if you guys want to take a look at the beta folders, there they are. I think it's okay to share them.
I think that they are more than out there already. Any creator knows if you're going to post that link that it's just free range at that point.
So it's less like an actual setting, and it's more like a toolbox to make like your own cyberpunk stuff, right?
No, I'm sure it's got its own setting with it from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
But it integrates with Worlds Without Number. It integrates with Stars Without Number, and he's releasing the toolbox to let you do more with it.
Yeah.
For example, let's say you're kind of like Grim and I, and you're just not all that happy with the rules for Cyberpunk Red, but you love Night City and you love the story, or perhaps you'd like to actually run Cyberpunk 2077 based on your knowledge of the game from source books and, of course, the video game itself. You can do that with Cities Without Number. You can integrate it very easily. Just drop your setting on top of this game and use it as your framework. But let's see. We have to mention our friend Guardbro was supposed to be with us today. He's not, but you can still back up his game. He's
probably because he had a heart attack because of what happened with his Kickstarter.
Yeah, he probably had a heart attack. He was only looking for $1,000, and he's gone 7 times that. And he still has 54 days to go.
The benefits of having a built-in audience.
Uh-huh. But yeah, if you want to kickstart this one, I could probably recommend it too. It's Guardbro. He's one of our guys. He's got stretch goals.
What is that elf licking?
A finger.
Okay.
Finger.
You sure?
Yeah, that looks like a giant bell end.
It may be someone else's finger, but I don't know. I don't make the art.
Looks like they're trying to appease an ogre so it won't eat them.
Worship an ogre.
Yeah, how hard are they trying?
But,
it's hard.
The $75 pledge that they've got, you get the CC manual, the field manual, and the monster manual. So the CC is named for GMs.
He said he'll be on my show tomorrow, but we'll see if that happens.
That reminds you need to resend me that link to that scenario.
Ah, yes, I will. I will.
I'm badly organized.
Badly organized person, you. Mm-hmm. Paying you for running this, but yes, there's Veil Riders. I'm also, our other friend Venger Satanas has 5 days to go on his game mastering like a fucking boss. I can recommend it. It's good stuff. If you're a Chalt fan, you probably already backed it. If you haven't, I mean, $15 ain't bad. I just wish he was offering hard copy.
How many outdated memes and cultural references are in this one?
I have no idea. It's Venger.
I just enjoy razzing on Venger.
Oh, I know. He's already blown well past his stretch goals or anything like that. So he's in the can. He's gonna make it.
Did you ever read his first one?
Which one?
The Game Master Like a Fucking Boss or whatever it was called. The first one that came out. This is advanced. This is his follow-up or whatever, or third follow-up. I don't know.
I don't remember.
About 10 years ago. It was just a stream of consciousness in a 100 pages. It was Venger.
Okay. I didn't.
We all like Venger.
I like Venger. I mean, I haven't backed any of his stuff. I'm just, for whatever reason. But
no, that sounded really poor. But I'm a big fan of Venger's stuff. He did our show this last week and talked about it, and I think it's more of like a personal journey for him now, because the first one he talked a little bit about the backstory, how it was really to leave a gaming legacy for his 500 children, and he felt it was time to update it. It was a really good conversation we had with him, so I don't want it to come off like I'm shitting on Venger. I love Venger.
Nah, we all do. This one I thought would be personally interesting to Grim if he hasn't already seen it. Yeah,
I've seen it, but I'm not sure how it's angled exactly. Whether it's just taking the piss or what.
Well, it looks like fun. Does it seem like a cash grab? A little bit.
Plus, they stole my idea, which it always happens to me.
They stole your idea?
Yeah, they've made it explicitly adversarial between the GM and the players.
No.
So, and I was thinking of doing a sort of OSR approach to doing that.
People are always stealing your stuff.
I have too many ideas that I never develop. That's the problem.
Welcome to my life.
I need underlings. I can't afford underlings. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
I'm an underling. Just an unreliable underling.
And yes. Well, I get what I pay for. So.
Yeah.
Grim is accepting applications for minions. If anyone would like to apply, this is an unpaid intern position.
Yeah. I wish that was more of a thing in this country. Unpaid interns.
I've not seen this before. Is this entirely serious, or is it? No.
It's absolutely not. You can actually pull a copy of this off of DTRPG, so you can actually see what you're getting. But I honestly think it's pretty cool and funny, and it's kind of that whole counterculture artistic Stockholm Cartel look.
Yeah, it's very Mork art.
Yeah.
So it's a coffee table book for our crew.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Looks a bit more sort of psychobilly.
Yeah. And here it is. Yeah, the 6-star. You can get this for free. In fact, here's their challenge right now. Right now, that what they want you to do is download the quick start for it and give them a negative review. Because if they get like 100 or something like that negative reviews, they'll release something else.
Shit, they should have consulted me. I can pull negative reviews like nobody's business.
Well, there you go. There you go.
I always feel weird about Kickstarters like this because obviously it's a bit of a meme game, and then like every meme game is like, oh, here's like 20K, and then like some lovingly crafted like RPG that somebody worked like 5 years on like doesn't get funded. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is sad but true.
Yeah.
There's just not enough money to go around, and there's too many projects.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But
I actually even just guessed the 20K number, and it's even slightly over.
But I always support the guys that I like, which is why I got to bring up Dungeon Malarkey. This is by our friend Levi Combs from Planet X Games, and I love his stuff. And this looks like another really fun addition to your toolbox. But it's got all kinds of the usual crazy stuff that you can throw into your game from Planet X Games. If you're familiar with the Phylactery or any of his other stuff. Yeah, it's bits and pieces you can plug and play directly into your weird fantasy games, from Chimeral Eggs to the Bile of the Great Worm and Eldritch Tapeworms. But it's a 48-page zine that has all kinds of stuff in it. I like stuff like this because it feels... I'm going to sound old and ranty for a minute, and I always do. But I think you guys will understand, and you'll probably feel the same way. I like stuff like this because it evokes more of the feeling that I used to get as a kid looking at stuff for D&D, or even D&D itself. Because what you have for D&D now is so corporate and so controlled and so cold and lifeless and just designed to make money that it has lost the fun that stuff like this has. Am I wrong? Am I just totally by myself?
You're not wrong at all. I actually tweeted about this. I don't know how long ago it's been, maybe a couple of weeks. That I feel like I didn't say it in these terms, but the point I was making was I really feel like so much of my current interest in this hobby is trying to recapture that magic.
Yes.
That I had when I was a kid, and whether it's the Tramp cover on the PHB, or some of the other stuff, the old school art and the old school aesthetic and the philosophy. And no, I don't think you're wrong at all. And in fact, sometimes I wonder if I'm a damned fool for trying to pursue it.
No, not at all. That's the core of what the hobby was built on. It was a little bit of counterculture, a little bit of we shouldn't be doing this, a little bit of gonzo, a little bit of crazy art, and all of those things combined are what was the draw. Now that it's so refined, so polished, so plastic, it's lost something. And I think that's why our corner of the hobby is so polarizing to everybody else, too. Because we voiced that it's lost something. We've seen it, we've experienced it, we pick up today's newest, latest, greatest, whatever it is, Wizards product, and it's meh. It's overproduced. It's an oversold match. And it's just not believable. We want to recapture all of those feelings all at once. It's not something that we need to give up on or feel lost about. It's something that we enjoyed, and contrary to popular belief, we want everybody else to enjoy it too.
Yes.
I miss when it was dangerous. That's what I miss. When it was edgy. The stuff that the people like Wizards put out, it's also homogenized. It's not striking. Like whenever I review a Wizards of the Coast book, right, and I'm putting a thumbnail together, I have to up the vibrance on the art and oversaturate it to make it look interesting. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. I mean, it's competent, it's well done. I've got nothing against any of the artists, but it's just so feeble. The best art in 5th edition was at the end when it was talking about conditions, and there's all those little sepia cartoons of adventurers falling and getting eaten by gelatinous cubes and stuff. I wish that had been throughout the rest of the book. It's just so
It's because
dull.
they're trying to attract the largest group possible. They're not going for a subsection. They want to get everybody.
Yeah.
So
No,
they
I
have to attract everybody. Some people
yeah,
might
I
not
understand
like
that.
Morkborg's art style, so they can't use
Yeah.
it.
No, I understand it. Absolutely. But it's just I miss when gaming was more
a niche
adventurous. Ironically, well, no, because I always wanted more people to play, so it feels
I have no
churlish
problem-
to go
yeah,
back on that.
But
you
it's
know?
not a hobby anymore. It's a lifestyle brand.
No.
Yeah.
So back when it was a hobby, you miss.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it was a little bit more
And-
underground.
I was-
And
I was-
It's not
even
even underground because I'm with Grim. I did want more people to play, but it's not. They don't view it as a hobby anymore.
yeah, and even in the 90s when it was gaming is art, that was the big push. I liked that. It felt legitimizing to me. Though I don't think.
Oh, I
Seeking
remember
the-
when gaming in the '90s was Vampire the Masquerade.
Yes.
Well, that was part of the big push, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking dots.
Hey man, that it's not Vampire the Masquerade without Tim Bradstreet art. And I'm
You
just
mean
gonna say
tracing?
that. Well, whatever.
Stuff just lacks edge these days. It's all safe and just watered down. Like Vampire the Masquerade. It was like 90s edge, but at least it was edge.
You see, there
all
was
these people-
'90s Edge, and then there was this, what was it? I don't even know how to fucking pronounce that one clan. The Semichi source book.
Zmisi.
Yeah. With the vagina dentata on the
Yes.
back.
Yes. I have that book.
I would have people tell me about their characters. It's like, oh yeah, he's like a vampire serial killer who like flays people. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, more power to you. Like
Yeah.
nowadays, that would probably get you cancelled if you made a character like that.
Oh yeah,
So yeah.
big time.
On Edge. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you can't have Edge.
You
Yeah.
can't have
What are
Edge.
you thinking? Yeah,
I know
Edge.
in not Masquerade. What's the other one? Requiem. Nosferatu don't have to be ugly anymore.
Oh,
There's your Edge, Vic.
Yeah. What's
right
the
there.
point then?
so edgy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle this, Ryan. It's too much.
But this goes back to that lifestyle choice. Not lifestyle choice, but lifestyle
It's a
brand,
lifestyle
right?
brand. It's exactly
We
what
want
it is
to experience our life through the eyes of the character as opposed to experiencing the character's life in our mind, in our setting with a group of friends. So, I beat this horse and it's sufficiently dead, and I have a team of necromancers to bring it back so that I can beat it again. But I'm really passionate about recapturing some of the things that we were talking about earlier, and this is just counterproductive for us. So,
Yeah.
But do you think that we've reached a point? I mean, history progresses. History has an inertia to it, and this applies to all things, whether it's a hobby, lifestyle brand, a game, or something bigger than that. But have we reached a point where we're just never going to recapture that magic? That we're tilting at windmills?
It's
no, I
called
recapture
getting
that
old.
magic every Friday night with my group.
I don't know. I mean, okay, this is probably maybe this may not be the best example, or maybe it's the best example, but okay. I'm a historian, and that's not just a funny title. I mean, I actually am a historian. I have a degree. But one of the things that I like, and a lot of people ask me, say, well, what's your area of expertise and all this? And I'm like, well, I don't have a particular area of expertise. There's certain genres I like.
Poop and pee.
Yes, you're in poop and pee. Yes, that's one of my big ones. But there is something I have a niche interest in as a historian, and I love it very much, and that is the artistic style of everywhere between the 1950s and the 1960s because I like the Googie art movement. I like the Populux style, the futuristic, the future look. I even like old Art Deco and stuff too. That's from the 40s that preceded it. And, you know, at first I thought I was kind of alone on that one, but there's a lot of other people who are picking that up and they're enjoying it also. And they love to show off pictures of these old places that don't exist anymore with the beautiful neon and the beautiful steel construction and the strange shapes and designs that were designed to catch your eye and pull you in to these places. And a lot of, you know, art and things are kind of trying to emulate a lot of that stuff now, here and there. So maybe there's a chance that all this stuff will come back around. You know, just maybe it'll be after we're gone, or maybe it'll be when we're old men. I mean, very old men, you know, in our 80s or 90s or something like that. And everybody be like, hey, aren't you one of the guys that used to talk about old D&D back in the day? And we'll be like, why, sure we were. No, I don't know. Maybe these things will happen. Maybe.
These things move in cycles, though, don't they? They do come back around. I mean, fashion's had an 80s revival every 2 or 3 years, it seems like.
Because time is a flat circle.
So is Earth.
Oh, wow. This is from...
Hey, yo, what?
It's from Patty's Parlor. What is... Oh, wow.
I see Venger invented this one, because there's egregious apostrophes.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Posture Palace.
Grosses apostrophes, we call them here in the UK.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I had to wean myself off of gross apostrophes when I started writing.
Kit Marlowe. The night DVD's a former colleague who insists that anything that happened after 1100 AD is news. That's pretty cool. I have gay people expertise. Okay.
I like it, Patty's Parlor. That's good stuff. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
I like it too. Oh, it's for the Chalt Game Jam? Okay. I see now. Victor, are you a flat earther?
Yeah, I am Brozar. Didn't you know?
Oh, okay.
What people are arguing against the truth of the flat Earth?
Yeah.
Earth is both flat and hollow.
I
Oh
agree.
boy.
Hollow, I can agree with. Flat, fuck off.
Nope, it's flat and hollow, and there's turtles all the way down.
Yeah.
No. See, here's what will blow your mind. It's double-sided.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And the reason things are so shitty here is because we're on B-side Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Agreed.
One of the most awesome B-sides to ever be created was Kung Fu Fighting. Because that was a B-side. It was not intended to be the big hit.
Yeah, but we're not exactly kung fu fighting here, T-shirt.
Everyone was Kung Fu Fighting.
Well,
Those kids were fast as lightning.
yeah. Well,
And it was about as lightning.
Did you
But
see
they
my
thought
video
it was
where I was
funny.
explaining media to kids?
No.
This is a CD. It's like MP3s on a playlist that you can't
Oh, I
change.
did. Yeah, you were showing Monster Magnet off. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, Space Lord motherfucker. Yes, I
My
love that.
parents have like this old rotary phone, and it's just there to like look cool. And,
Oh, no.
I remember a couple years ago with my niece. I think she was like, I don't know, 8 or 9 at the time. They were like, "Hey, point out the phone," and she had like no idea. She was like literally standing next to it and like just like looking around, and she had like no idea it was a phone. So it made me feel really old because even I remember rotary phones.
Ironcaster's back. Hey, how was dinner?
Yay!
What did you
We
make?
made chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken strips.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
American meal.
traditional Native American cuisine, chicken strips.
We tracked the chicken across the plains for many a moon.
Buffalo wings.
Slaved over the air fryer.
Bison wings.
Bison wings.
We milked the buffaloes for much of their sauce.
Even the bulls.
Yes.
Oh no. It's not the kind of sauce you want on your stuff.
It's full of protein.
Yes, it
Allegedly.
is. Make your hair look good.
We sold the
Good for your
oysters
skin, too.
we sold the oysters up in Salt Lake City.
Oh my!
Those crazy white men will eat anything.
Oh my gosh.
Well, not anything.
Well,
I could say they were testosteroned.
we had our had our second game of low fantasy gaming last night. The party finally succeeded after almost getting killed again, and so far that's been my main complaint about the game. Is I'm using official scenarios from their book, but they seem like incredibly overpowered for low levels. Because, like, I'm looking up the random encounters, and it's just like, 4 die 12 giant centipedes. And I'm like, are you shitting me? These are first levels.
Yeah.
It's like 4 die 12 giant centipedes.
Yeah, but that's not far removed from some of the old tables from back in the day.
Well,
I know.
Vampire should be a first level enemy.
Yeah.
Second level party going into a dungeon, wandering monster. Pick one that's super deadly. I don't know.
Yeah, we were making that comment on Twitter today. Dano was talking about whites. And, if you remember back in the day, whites used to eat one of your levels off every time they hit you.
I wanted to comment on that so badly, and I didn't because other people had kind of, I don't know, it looked like it was getting out of control. And it was and my comment was going to be lost in the noise.
I didn't even see that on Twitter.
Some dude jumped in and started getting all shitty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was talking about it on the Gilded server on base campus.
But
I didn't see that.
Yodano was making the point, which is kind of what my thoughts were the whole time, is D&D doesn't have an insanity mechanic. And if you need to terrify your players, nothing's going to do it more than, here comes a monster, and he can drain a level. Now, you're going to have instant respect for that creature. It gives power. It gives power to the undead. It makes it more sensible that if you've got a group of these hardened adventurers and here comes a specter, they're going to run for their damned lives if they know what's good for them.
Yeah, specters were deadly as hell back then.
And it has the added benefit of making clerics vitally important. It makes the characters pursue a means of encounter resolution beyond just combat, which is one of the biggest complaints that you hear from the more modern crowd. Well, everything's either combat or what, it's like there's an A-B thinking dialectic going on there between the two, and it's like, no, there's a range of possibilities. You just need to be creative. Stop
combat is not an option if you don't have a paladin in your party. If you have a paladin in your party and there's a specter, you're fighting the thing.
Well, I mean, I'm speaking in general terms, but yeah, you're correct, of course. But.
Well, it's funny you'd mentioned an insanity because my character racked up 2 of them. The first one is he got the crap beaten out of him by an owlbear, and in low fantasy gaming, anytime your character goes to 0 hit points, they don't necessarily die; they just go down. And until you turn the character over to see if he's dead or not, they remain out of the combat. But once the combat is over with, if somebody goes and turns the corpse over to see if he's still alive, you make your all dead or mostly dead roll. So my guy survives. I made my mostly dead roll. The problem is every time you go mostly dead, you also have to roll on a wound chart, a deadly wounds chart that can leave some lasting effects on your character. Well, mine gained a minor insanity, and so I rolled on their minor insanity table, and it was that uncontrollable laughing and giggling during times of extreme stress.
Oh, so you're the Joker.
Dude, you became
I'm
the Joker.
the Joker.
Nice.
You're the Joker.
And the worst part is I'm a rogue. So
And your name is Arthur.
Yes, well, close, but I mean, just imagine now. I have this elf rogue who is, trying to pick a lock under duress.
Right.
I'm trying so hard right now, and you're really not helping me.
What I was going for. Yeah, you've got 3 rounds to get this door open, or we're all gonna die. And then
It would be really nice if you stopped pressuring me.
Yeah. Giggling like a
Time to invest in a ball gag.
Yes.
But I like the system, but their official scenarios are harsh. So
Well, I think they're harsh by the lens of today, right?
Yeah.
Because today's lens is we are victorious in combat. And that's it. End. Stop. There aren't... I don't want to say there's not, but there's not a mainstream awareness of we are victorious because of A, B, C, D, E, F, or combat. So the avenues are just dusty and overgrown, and that's just because of culture and the community and all of the modern trappings that have become part of the hobby. So the point that Yodano brought was, yeah, you're giving teeth to something that normally is a throwaway. And we need to shock and awe players and DMs in the first 2 or 3 sessions to let them know that there are viable solutions that are going to be very fulfilling for you as a player that are beyond just combat and winning, right?
But what about my character's story arc?
yeah, it doesn't fit with my character's
story
backstory.
Well,
This is not suitable.
Yeah, well, Ironcaster's making a joke, but there's a lot of truth behind it, which is why it's funny.
Every
And-
single one of my D&D characters had the same backstory. Orcs have stuff. I want stuff.
Well, we're talking
Orcs are
about
rich.
we're talking about OSR games, right? You're actually
Yeah.
supposed to kind of avoid combat. Like that is actually the challenge to get past encounters without, like,
Yeah,
putting
the
the squad
10-foot
and
pole.
probably dying.
That's
Yeah.
yeah, that's which is kind of where I was going, Victor. Yeah,
Yeah, 5e actually devolves into combat way more than OSR games, which is funny because 5e players, they claim like, oh, old school games is just all combat. Like, no, it's actually people, players, they go into combat way more in my experience when I play 5e than when I play OSR games, because you can just waffle stomp everything rather
Because
than
it's very hard to
Yeah.
die in 5e.
yeah,
Mhm.
and
In OSR, if something looks at you wrong, you're dead, and so are all your ancestors.
I remember I was playing Scarlet Heroes on the basic expert stream, and my level 1 character, he had to go to some farm to talk to a farmer, and like 5 ogres showed up, and I was like, well, I'm gonna hide in the wood cellar. And then the NPC was like, wait, you're not gonna fight the ogres? You're like a warrior. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna fight these 7 ogres or 5 ogres with 7 hit dice. So yeah, I hid in the wood cellar and they swore up the
Intelligence
farm
might be
above
my
me.
dump stat, but I didn't
Yeah.
dump it that low.
But
But like a 5e
counterpoint.
player, a 5e party would just fight the ogres.
Well, counterpoint. Okay, and we did this on live stream, so nobody can say it didn't happen. You can go back and watch it. During the Scarlet Heroes game I ran last week, Grim actually did take out a 7-hit dice black dragon with 1 spell. I mean, he got lucky.
It was
It was
glorious.
yes. It was a flame strike spell equivalent, so it was a 5-hit dice spell.
Mhm.
But
Well-
yeah, he managed to get enough damage together to kill that thing in 1 hit.
Yeah, but in
Surprised me.
Scarlet Heroes spells,
Me
they
too.
ignore the whole you can only do 3 die on like certain hit dice
Yeah,
creatures
but
at
what
certain
level
levels.
Yeah.
was Grim if he was casting Flame Strike?
First, he was
It
using
was
a scroll.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. To make like magic users a bit more competitive, they did that like with the whole Frey dice thing. So me as a fighter, like I could only use my Frey die on like hit dice 1 creatures because I was level 1. But the magic
Mhm.
user can ignore that. So yeah, spells are actually pretty scary in that.
Let's give more power to the casters, guys.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing though with Scarlet Heroes. It's like, and my friend made me double check because after we watched the video, he was like, "Are you sure you're doing that the right way? Because I thought you're supposed to roll all the dice and throw that into the matrix." And I said, "No, you're supposed to do each individual dice." Because I said, otherwise, that means it doesn't matter how powerful your attack is, you'll never do more than 4 damage ever. So, yeah, we went back and reread the rule. And I'm like, no, every single dice gets put through the matrix. So if Grim had rolled a bunch of 1s, that would have been the least effective flame strike spell ever.
If I'm running a game and someone says, "Are you sure you did that right?" I throw dice at them.
You know, I like my friends.
I just look for any excuse to throw dice at people.
Oh, okay.
Establish this,
That sounds about right.
and then I scream some numbers so it's like we're still playing the game.
Or there's also the option of Well, I'm the dungeon master, and I say this is how it goes.
Hey, lovely
That's
Sherry.
basically what I do, just with throwing dice, which is much more fun.
But yeah, I mean, it's like overall, I still like low fantasy gaming. Still has some good systems, and we're not running an optimized party by any means. Several of us have really low stats.
I might actually be joining a stream game soon.
Oh my! Well, I'm about to talk about that. So yeah, Grim contacted me yesterday, and he says, "Hey man, can we switch off on Sundays? Because he says I'm having a hard time getting people together for my Friday game."
Yeah, because Americans suck.
Yeah. So yeah, starting tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. because it's got to be early. He and I are going to be switching off on Sundays between games. I'll run whichever game I'm going to run, and then the next Sunday he'll run whatever game he's going to run.
It's Barbarians of Lemuria, next one.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
a good system.
I want to play that.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's first come first serve because I don't know how many people we can handle. I mean, obviously I can handle 10 people on stream, but I really don't know that Grim or I want to run for 9 people.
I generally limit to 4 to 5 people. So
Yeah, I think that's a good ballpark. So, but if you guys want to play with us, hit us up on Twitter, let us know, and we'll get you punched into the game so you can play with us. We'd love to have you.
I'm probably not going to be home tomorrow, sadly. I have to dog sit, so...
Victor, you always have an excuse not to play with us. I'm starting to think you're ducking us, dude.
Because you always play on Sunday, and I'm usually doing stuff on Sunday.
At like
Who
8
does
in the
stuff on
morning.
Sunday? Oh,
I
and
do.
in the morning.
I have lunch with my parents, or I'm like doing other stuff. I'm going
busy at church.
It's so wholesome.
No,
on a
yeah, the
Sunday.
church of the gun range.
Ooh. But yeah, we've had Ironcaster as a player in our game. We've had Tabletop Junkie.
My fight over the whole 4 intelligence.
We love that guy.
I do like Philip.
But by the way, T-shirt, you were supposed to do like a stream in the morning this week. I think it was like Wednesday, and I stayed up No, it was Monday, and I stayed up all night because I was like, well, it's not really much of a point to nap because I got to stream later, and then it never happened, and you never said anything. So,
I'm so sorry, dude. What happened is I was up all night.
yeah.
And I got to bed late, and I thought I could get up on time, and it's like, no, it's really cold outside. Let me pull the covers over myself since I don't have to go to work. And yeah, 12 o'clock came, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't feel like it.
Yeah.
It's probably too late now anyway. My apologies on that, Victor. My public apologies to you.
Nice. Now apologize for getting my stream taken down. No, I'm just...
I did that already. How many times
Yeah,
I gotta
true.
apologize for that? I promise I will never show you any more German forklift safety videos again on your
German
stream.
porn instead.
German porn would probably be safer.
Yeah, probably actually.
It's der gas mask.
Yeah, ooh. You need it for German porn. You need gas masks.
I have heard that they are the smelliest lovers. I don't know. I don't know for sure. If there are any Germans out there watching this, I apologize in advance. That's just what I've heard. So I'm sure you've heard horrible things about Americans too, like we shower too much. So
How is that a heart? Never mind.
Yeah.
Because
I
it
don't know,
kills the microbiome on your skin and it's really bad for you. Actually,
there you go.
genuinely.
Of course, a British man would say that.
Of course.
They only got showers in 1999.
Hey,
Smarts are better.
all I know
Only
is
reason the British care about hot water is if they can make their fucking tea.
They can make beer with it.
all I know.
Awful warm beers. Ugh.
All I know is if I start to smell, like vinegar and cheese from the south, then it's time to go take a shower, baby.
I have to shower every day. I work with chemicals.
Yes, you do.
That's called living in New Jersey.
Yeah, that too. You
Actually,
live in a chemical factory.
I found out recently one of the chemicals that I have to use every goddamn day causes nerve damage.
Oh, that's
Nice.
wonderful.
I always picture like New Jersey just looks entirely like those factories that like the Joker falls into the vat of chemicals like
No,
in the
that's just
1989
Newark.
Batman. It's just like the whole city is like that. It's just factories
That's
like that.
just Newark. I am no longer in the city. I'm in the city.
Green Dragon, I forgot you were from Germany. Like I said, man, I apologize if that's not
so
true.
now where I live,
You
I
know.
got trees and.
What do you think is green?
I don't know.
I don't apologize, and I doubled down on everything he just said.
Oh, look, there's Snowdub, the guy who missed out on having a conversation with him earlier in the week after I pretty much stayed up all night. But look, see, it happened to me too, Victor. Only Snowdub got me.
Well, Snowdub, you missed him talk about all these westerns, so
Yeah. So here you go.
Go ahead, skin it. Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
There you go.
He's from South Jersey, Shen. We don't talk about that.
Oh, Kevin Smith? Yeah.
Hold on. South Jersey has its merits.
The closer you get to Philadelphia, the less of a human you are.
I agree, but it's a parabolaic formula. You want to get as close as possible, but
Yeah,
not hit
that's
Camden.
Camden,
You
yeah.
hit Camden and you're done.
Yeah.
They both agreed.
Camden is Gotham City. No, actually,
Oh,
Newark
no.
is Gotham City. Camden will be Bloodhaven because Bloodhaven's worse than Gotham.
Right. Victor was talking about the place that looks like it's just all factories that you could kill the Joker in over and over and over again. That is 100% Camden.
Well, you mentioned.
Wait a minute. I've got to Google Earth this shit. Hang on.
No. Go, I'll tell you what to do. Go right off the Ben Franklin Bridge and just keep going down the highway, and you're driving through Camden, and there's not a mile in Camden that has any redeemable quality. Not even the aquarium.
No, yeah, Camden is terrible.
I went to Philly once, but I only stayed at the airport. But like, I guess Philly is so awful because even the airport is probably like one of the worst places it's ever been in my life.
The
Like, I hated
people
it so
in
much.
Philadelphia threw batteries at Santa Claus. They're terrible people.
Yeah, everyone was just a complete asshole. It was awful.
Wait. Why batteries?
you felt like you were at home, didn't you, Victor?
That's just
No.
what they do. At the Eagles games, they throw batteries at people.
Why do they throw batteries? Because they hurt?
Yes.
Philadelphia.
Now that's an old school Philly wrestling thing. They used to throw batteries or nickels at the heels when they were coming to the ring at the Spectrum because it would hurt like hell. Okay, here we go. All right,
Is it
so
because
come
it's
on-
assault
Village
and
waste.
battery?
Batteries
are
just
we
seem
really
so
looking
damned
up Camden?
expensive, though.
Yes, we're looking at Camden.
They were dead batteries.
You throw
They
dead
would
batteries? You
save
don't throw
them
the
and
good
take
batteries.
them
What
to
the
the
hell is
wrestling
wrong?
match.
Saved. Okay.
Cheaper than eggs.
Well, yeah. God, that's true.
That's greener than I expected.
New Jersey is actually pretty green. We also have a lot of lakes.
That's the
there's a
radioactive
Pentecostal
waste.
church.
Yeah.
And you got the Jersey Devil. So
That's
you
the
got
Barons. We don't talk about the
Yeah,
Barons.
the pine barrens. The pine barrens. Yeah.
you got your
because
encrypted.
the Pineys are even worse.
The best thing
The
about the Pine
Pines.
Barrens is the Sopranos episode. So,
With
these-
the Russian soldier. Yeah, I love that.
God, look at this is all. Oh, that's all wood. At first, I thought it was all rust. It's like no, it's all wood.
It might be. It's Camden.
from street level, it may be.
Trust you to use Google Earth to spy on people's wood.
That's just parked cars.
Darius, that is a very serious civil war in New Jersey. I have gotten into arguments with very good friends over the fact that they called it pork roll.
It all looks very green and nice on here. I don't know.
It does kind of look nice. I mean, you know.
To the green and present.
You're in Camden, Ohio.
Well-
I just want to point out. You're in Camden, Ohio.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't look like a
It's
big
worse.
New Jersey city. Like, what the fuck?
Okay, well here we go. Camden,
This is what
city
you
in
get
New
for
Jersey.
reusing name places from England and using them multiple times in the same
Yeah.
country.
Very, very
Yeah.
true. Okay, let's try this
Putting
again.
new in front of them.
Okay. Whoa!
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
a bit different.
Now,
No!
I want you to come out, go north, and there's the bridge. Okay, so find the bridge from Philly to
Right here?
Jersey, right
Yep.
there.
Right
where,
there, yeah.
That's where you want to go, and just travel down that lovely stretch of highway.
Cooper's
Go
Point.
street
Baseball.
view.
let's see if we can do a street view.
There's probably not a street view on the bridge, but I'm sure there is one on 676.
I think you got to grab that little guy in the bottom right corner and drag it over.
This little, yeah.
Just drag that over
onto the line. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
so
looks
this is
bad already.
nice Camden because it's waterfront.
Wow, I'm
He's not
like
even
totally.
on the bridge.
the other
He's
way
off
around,
the
I
bridge.
think.
Yeah, he's off the bridge.
I'm off the bridge. Yeah.
Anything worth doing, you got to do right.
Oh wow. That's like all rust. Oh my.
There's a little chemical tower for you. I'm sure there's some
How
human
lovely.
excrement.
No street view data.
And we're not even off the bridge yet. I don't know
So-
if it's still a fact or not, but
T-shirt got
visiting
excited
the
when he saw
Myrtle-
Rutgers.
I did.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
murder
my.
capital
Camden
of
is
the
fucking
world
terrible.
here, Camden, New Jersey.
Delaware Avenue, just like Monopoly. Wow.
Well, Monopoly was based on Atlantic City.
Elm
Yeah.
Street? Oh, God. Gonna get Freddy Krueger.
Almost every city in America
But there's
has
some
an Elm Street.
freaking bike lanes.
Yeah.
Parking's $30.
Is it?
That's probably for the whole day, and that's actually not a bad price.
Yeah, that's not horrible.
Oh wow, this looks wow.
That almost looks as bad as Flint.
That's saying
But
something.
I will say something about Camden. New Jersey actually has very good tap water.
What is up with this?
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Is that a roundabout in America?
Yeah. Go there. Go
Oh
there.
yeah, that's
Yeah, they're trying to bring them over.
Oh
it's
my God.
bullshit.
Yeah, we have,
Do you
we
guys
actually
really
have quite a
hate
few of
them?
those.
I think they're great.
I hate roundabouts.
Well, here's the thing about roundabouts in the U.S. is, at least here in the Midwest, they build them too damn small, so they
Yeah.
don't function the way they're supposed to. If you build them large enough, then they're great. But here in Kansas City, it's like you've got to come to a stop anyway. So you might as well just have a damn four-way intersection.
While we're
And
on
they also
Pro
put
tip,
Jersey,
pro tip from the UK, which has a lot of roundabouts. The really small ones, just drive over them.
while we're on
They also put them in the most like
Yeah.
out of the. They also put
Do
them in
you
the
guys
most
know how
out
to
of the way
work jug
places where
handles?
like you never see them.
They're like constant here. I have like just 3 within like walking distance.
The best thing about roundabouts, though, is the way Americans panic approaching them.
Oh,
And
especially in the
tunnels.
and especially in the Midwest because people have no idea what to do.
Yeah, they're pretty smooth if you actually know how to use them.
I mean,
Wow, this place looks fun right here.
and the thing is I'm not the most intelligent
now
guy in the
that's
world,
some
but it's pretty
premium
easy to
Camden.
figure out.
God, this looks terrible.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Can you taste the
$5
squalor?
BJs around
Home
the
sweet
back.
home.
Prime spot for a cyberpunk LARP.
I was
looks like
just
there was a
thinking
weird
that.
stain on the wall of that building.
Camden is a weird stain. That's their slogan. We're the weird stain of New Jersey.
When you
And
can be
this
the
all-
weird stain of this state.
This all looks like solar panels or something. No street data. Nobody wanted to go. This is all chemical plants right here.
That's
We don't
because they
allow no
guard those
cameras.
with guns.
Yeah. Even the
Yeah.
Google camera truck wouldn't drive down that street. Nah, screw that, guys. I'm going around.
Yeah, and this is like all pure orange with rust right here, whatever this is. Look at that. Wow. And more chemical plants. Holy crap.
Well, New Jersey has more chemical processing plants than
I don't know
California
what
has
this is,
lawyers.
but
Per
it
capita.
looks dirty.
That looks to be an incinerator.
Yeah, that's what that looks like.
Oh,
Yep,
yeah.
that's an incinerator.
God, this place.
That was an incinerator.
It
Looks
was
like it got
incinerated.
incinerated.
Man, I've seen nicer digs in 1984 Beirut.
Yeah.
Lord.
Can you imagine being a kid and playing out here? Mommy, I got a needle stuck in my arm.
Everybody in New Jersey is up to date on their tetanus shots.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, man.
Over here.
I would like to present you with a little bit of Flint just for a little comparison.
Oh,
no, you're gonna show us Flint.
I got a head up,
Jumped on me,
sadly.
guys.
You gotta go
I've got
game, buddy.
Yeah, I've got a game that's literally starting, so I'll see everyone next week, probably.
All right, man.
Good to see you.
Later.
Take care.
You are 90 pounds. You can't just jump on me.
You must be your dog.
Yeah, both my dogs are bothering me. Don't you growl at me.
Ooh,
See,
I heard that.
It's getting late, and I've got a photo shoot tomorrow, so I will bid you adieu as well.
You have a game in the morning.
Bye, Jim.
Yeah, I do.
Now they're barking.
night.
Well, your
All right,
morning.
Jim.
Take care.
See ya. We're about to finish up anyway, but
Just looking at
I wanted-
houses.
oh wow, but there's a lot of those.
Oh yeah, like this was like a street I grew up on, so it's kind of whoa. Oh look, another one.
No.
Hey, you have an incinerator too.
To the left of those houses, it looks like it used to be a house.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you know
plot.
that absolutely.
Yeah,
This used to be a lot.
a lot of
House-
what?
No, a lot
Yeah.
is just where you build the
Oh.
house.
Yeah, an empty lot. Yeah, if we go down here, we'll probably find more.
So what, you can just buy like the lot, as in like the land, and build your own house on it.
Yeah, but building a house is very
Yeah, there's a
expensive.
boat. I mean, someone's got some class here on Dakota Ave.
Oh yeah. Someone apparently has the clout to like get their house taken off of Google.
Free by request. All you have to do is fill out the form.
Oh,
I highly recommend it too, since we're kind of online. Gamergate.
yeah. Oh, it's not bad. It's not good. As I keep going down this road, I'm finding more and more boarded up houses. Oh, this is not what I remember.
Well, things ain't what they used to be.
Now I'm curious to what the block I grew up on is like.
Oh, now Green Gate's gonna go. Everybody's gonna be looking up Google Earth now to see how shitty was the neighborhood I was in. But anyway, guys.
Oh no, I know exactly how shitty that neighborhood was.
Oh,
I'm just wondering what it looks like now.
oh. Well, anyway, we're actually over time, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it. If nobody has anything extra. No.
We started with awkward silence. Why the hell not end with it?
Yeah. I did have something, but it's way too long. You don't want to get into it. So
Okay.
I think it would go for quite a while. Maybe next time.
Okay. All right. We'll save it for next time. There's always another Week in Geek around the corner. But until then, guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. My esteemed panel and all
there's
you.
Badminton club where I used to live? Holy shit.
He's still looking.
It was around the block from my old house. There was a fucking badminton club.
Those are some mean streets. Good night, everybody.
Yes.
He's been to this whole time and he never knew.
Jersey City. I'm not going to walk around Jersey City.
No, I wouldn't either. All right. Well, thank y'all for hanging out with us tonight, and y'all have a great week, and we will see you next week in Geek. And don't forget to tune in to this channel tomorrow morning if you're up that early, or at least catch the replay, because we'll do part 3 of the Scarlet Heroes game with Grim and whoever else shows up.
What
Hopefully
time is it?
9 a.m. my time.
So it's 10. I might be awake. If I'm awake, I'll try to stop by.
Okay. And if you don't have a character, you don't have the game Scarlet Heroes, let me know, and I will
Oh,
happily furnish you with a quick start. So
Yeah, if I can join, I'll ask for a quick start.
okay. Alrighty. Until then, y'all take care and have a good evening.
On behalf of the staff of the Independent California Motel, I wish you all sweet dreams. How do you overcome the suffering of life?
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.